Mr. Taylor, you have the truth. You came to looking for answers and you got answers. It may or may not have been the answers you want.
Hey guys, I'm going live on my YouTube channel in less than 10 minutes. Be sure to click the link in my bio so you guys can be involved in the conversation. We're going to be talking about interracial relationships and being pro-Black at the same time. It should be an interesting discussion. Sure to click the link in my bio so you guys can be involved.
Okay, the mic does work. Hey girl. I'm waiting for like more people to join the discussion so that it can actually be a discussion. So I don't have to like repeat so much stuff that we talk about for new people that join. So you're the first one. So I'm gonna wait a little bit and then we can start talking when I get more people. Cool. I appreciate your patience. I'm doing well. How have you been? This is gonna be super awkward. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Um, did not know that my my phone was on 20%. If you guys want to go to my live on my YouTube channel, that would be good if it's convenient for you. Just because my phone is gonna well, looks like my laptop's about to die too. We're gonna work this thing out. Let me just wait till more people join and we'll see like because it looks like more people are joining my Instagram live than my YouTube. So we'll see. Hi everyone who just joined, who's new. I'm not gonna start the discussion, just as a heads up. I'm not starting the discussion until I get a couple more people joined. Because I don't wanna like not like I want to have the discussion and have it kind of flow. I don't want to have to repeat stuff that we're saying at the beginning for people who are joining like a while after. So I'm gonna just wait until we get like a decent group for me, a decent group for me. I'm not expecting like 100K or anything like that, but we're just gonna wait a little bit and then we can talk. Ooh, geez. I may also have to relocate myself because it's quiet now that I'm in my living room, but it may not be like that for very long. So if there's some movement happening, don't be alarmed. Hmm. Also, is this like an awkward time? Can people tell me if this is like a good time to go live or like what is the best time? I was thinking evening was okay because people are either out of school or finished work around this time at least, but I don't know if people like are more in tune to their social media later in the evening, or what the case is. Hey Bertrand, how's it going? Let me see. So yeah, you guys tell me what the best time is, like if this time is okay, or if you wanted to see it, like, or wanted to have this discussion a little bit later. Like if later works or if earlier works, let me know in the comments. $10 p.m. What kind of thing? That's hilarious. Aren't people getting ready to go to their bed at 10? Or is that like a serious, like, seriously 10? Or are you being funny? I don't really know. 10 seems kind of late. I mean, I am on like my phone just scrolling aimlessly at that time, but would people really be engaged like late in the evening? Is that a thing? Yes, no? For you guys who are wondering what I'm looking at, I'm in my living room. 9 p.m. I don't know. What do other people think? Is 9 okay? I'm actually on YouTube because the key to starting a YouTube channel is making sure that you do your research by way of watching other people's videos. And YouTube is actually entertaining. I like it better than regular TV. So, and you get to pick and choose and fast forward and, skip over commercials. So YouTube is great. So we will see. That's what I'm looking at rather. And I'm just waiting on like more people. We'll say at least 10. I feel like if it's 10 people, we can have a good discussion. Right now, we only have 5. Mute TV. Okay, another question I have. Do people prefer live on Instagram over live on YouTube? Is it just like ease of ease of access and you get a notification at the top of your phone or whatever the case is, whatever device you're using, that somebody is going live? Or do you like the YouTube interface of like someone being live? Does it matter? Does it not matter? Like, what are you more likely to like join a live discussion on here? Yeah, YouTube has a live. I don't know if like you can only access it once you've put up X amount of videos, because when I first started YouTube, they wouldn't let me go live. Okay, so Insta. All right. And then also, do you guys want like access to these live videos after we've discussed them, or do you guys not care? Do you just like want in the moment discussions and then whatever, I don't have to repost it? Because if I don't have to repost it, then I'll just do it on Instagram. It's cool. But if I do, I would prefer to do it on YouTube because it would just be easier that way. And yeah, YouTube does have a live. Like I was saying, don't know if you're just able to access the live by way of having X amount of followers or X amount of videos. Because when I first started, they wouldn't allow me to have access to the live on YouTube, but now they do. So we'll see if you guys are liking Instagram more, because I've done one live before, but it wasn't as like successful as I would like, successful in terms of numbers. So we'll see. Okay. Do I want to? You know what? I'm actually going to move. So you guys are going to come with me on a little adventure, and hopefully there's not so much jostling around. I'm going to move because my phone is about to die, and that's the last thing that I want for it to die while I'm doing a live. So let me just turn this TV off real quick, and then we're going to go on a little walk. Oh, thanks, girl. I appreciate it. I can plug my phone in so it doesn't die on me. And then I also don't want to keep waiting. So do you guys want to just start talking now? Even though there aren't that many people, like, do you care? Or do you want me to wait for more people to be in the discussion? Like, tell me what you guys want. Because we can just start talking now if you want, or I can wait a little bit. Why does this always thing with your phone and you actually need access to it, and that's when it decides to only be on 20%? Like, this whole time you were functioning perfectly fine. Now we're down to 1, 2, getting the discussion. I don't even know if, like, let me see how many people have viewed this.
Hey guys, I'm going live on my YouTube channel in less than 10 minutes.
Okay. So people have seen it for sure. So, and see what they. So, essentially, and see what they. So, I was watching a video. I don't know how many people. Ooh, geez, sorry. Okay, wait. Does this work? Does this way work? No, because then it looks weird. Okay, so essentially, I'm gonna just do this for now. Just trying to configure myself. Sorry, kids. I know I look like lopsided, but my phone is not cooperating. Okay, so essentially, I was watching a video on Hot 97. I don't know how many of you watch Hot 97 interviews, and some of the discussions that Ebro, Laura Sowles, and Rosenberg have in the morning. But I was watching one video, and I think it was last week, and the question that they were directing towards the callers was whether or not you can be Black, or pro-Black, sorry, not just Black, be pro-Black, and also in an one that I think that we oftentimes have. But not in that way anyways. It's like people will say things like, is it good or bad to be like Black and in an interracial relationship, or just not necessarily that, but you know what I mean? Like, they don't necessarily talk about being pro-Black and what that means to be pro-Black and also in an interracial relationship. So I thought it would be a good discussion to have. And I'll start off by saying that I'm not going to give my opinion on the matter at the beginning. Like, I want to hear from you guys and what your thoughts are. And then I'll kind of like divulge that, because I don't want my thoughts to taint what you guys think. But I want to start off by giving a definition, and I know it's from a kind of a janky place, a janky source, but whatever. So I pretty much got the definition from Urban Dictionary. Don't roll your eyes, but like the rest of the definitions were very much, and in that way, it was kind of almost biased definition of what pro-Blackness is, as opposed to just like factual, and just based on like situational stance. So I wanted just raw definition of an understanding of what pro-Blackness is, and then probably we can base the discussion as to whether or not you can be pro-Black and in an interracial relationship at the same time. According to Urban Dictionary, being pro-Black is a lifestyle that encourages the economic growth and development of Black people as a whole, with the purpose of increasing the wealth and population of Black people around the world, whether it be spending money with Black-owned businesses in your own community or online, promoting love for Black people and encouraging Black youth, is its sole purpose to keep uplifting the Black people in America to be proud and the same. Then it has like its own definition. But what's it called? I thought that was an interesting definition of what it means to be pro-Black. I kind of had my own understanding of it prior to reading this, but something similar, promoting love for Black people, and it's uplifting Black people within relationships and in America, blah, blah, blah. So I liked the definition. I thought that it was very black and white, no pun intended, but it got to the point, and it kind of gives clarity as to what pro-Blackness is. And so I just wondered, like, is it possible to, knowing this definition of, you know, pro-Blackness, is it possible to be in an interracial relationship while also claiming this lifestyle of pro-Blackness? Is it okay? Is it something that's contradictory? Like, what are your guys' thoughts? I'll start off by saying, when I was listening to Hot 97, the people that were calling in and that they were talking to about, you know, pro-Blackness and interracial relationships, dating, marriage, whatever, a lot of the conversation and the comments were, you know, either or. And that was to be expected. There were some people who called in and their responses were just kind of left field, and I couldn't understand at all. And there were other people who were very much like offended that this would even be a discussion, which I'm not sure why that would be. Like, I don't see what the problem is in having a discussion around pro-Blackness and being in an interracial relationship. Like, with the amount of people who are in interracial relationships nowadays, like, I feel like why would you want to stray away from that discussion? Like, I feel like it's important to have for clarity, understanding, and so that you can have a sense of respect for other people's ideas and things of that nature. So I definitely think that the conversation is necessary. I don't think that we need to stray away from having that type of a conversation. But yeah, as I was saying, some people were very much pro, like, you know, be pro-Black, be in an interracial relationship. And other people were just like, nah, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And other people, I guess, being aligned with pro-Blackness, not necessarily pro-Black, but being aligned or in support of the Black community, but also like race. And I'll use that term race very loosely because we're all actually just one race, the human race. But anyhow, you guys know what I mean. So what are your guys' thoughts? Like, do you feel like it's problematic? Do you think it's fine to be pro-Black or claim a pro-Black, be in an interracial relationship, or coexist if you can be Black, be pro-Black, and also have a partner who looks dissimilar to Black. And I'm not saying that, like, I don't know, I guess it gets kind of person is, it's a whole other discussion, but I'll just throw it out there anyways. I guess the discussion gets sticky when the person is Black, but they're white passing. I don't know. I guess that's a whole other discussion. And I mean, if you guys want to comment on that, feel free. I haven't really put much thought into that part of the discussion. But as far as being pro-Black and being in an interracial relationship, I have had to see you guys right now live. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Like, is it possible to be pro-Black and in an interracial relationship? Or is it just not possible? Is it, you can't do it? Can the two not function together? What are your thoughts? Let me know. That's interesting. Okay, so the conversation really, someone is commenting on my YouTube live, and the conversation isn't really around Christianity and being in a like relationship with somebody who is not Christian, in this case Muslim. But if you guys want to talk about that at another point, we certainly can. But I want to kind of keep our focus on being pro-Black and also being in a interracial relationship. So let me know other things we can. What the definition, but for the case of this, like, I tried other locations or looking for this definition in other places, and it was kind of riddled in the midst of actual blog posts or what have you, which kind of meant for me that it would be skewed and a little bit biased. So this is the most black and white that I could get it. So pro-Black is a lifestyle that encourages the economic growth and development of Black people as a whole, with the purpose of increasing the wealth and population of Black people around the world, whether it be spending money with Black-owned businesses in your community or online, promoting Black love for Black people and encouraging Black youth is its sole purpose to keep uplifting Black people in America to be proud at the same time. If you want, I can type that out or like copy and paste it somewhere and pin it on the top of this discussion so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. Why do you think it's possible to be pro-Black and then also in an interracial relationship? Let me switch over to my telling me that, like, they were mentioning whether or not you can be a Christian in a relationship with a Muslim as an analogy to being in an interracial relationship and being pro-Black. Yeah, sure, you can send me a link to other videos. I don't mind being as educated as possible. Sure, I will check that link out. Not right now, but I will check it out. Of course, my laptop would be dying at this point. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to pull my life together one step at a time. Thank you. Have a nice evening as well. So if you guys want me to I don't know how I would do that. I would literally have to type out this definition of pro-Blackness and pin it to the top of this conversation, which seems a little daunting. But if you guys need me to do that, then I can, for the purposes of not having to restate all of this. Look at me. Oh my gosh. I wish I could just tell you what I just did. I have my phone on my laptop, and instead of typing on my phone, like retyping the definition, I'm typing on my actual laptop. Smart one, Monique. Smart. Okay. To be pro-Black and be in an interracial relationship. How many of you relationship? How many of you guys agree with that? Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible? Or why not? Do you not agree with that? I want to get your feedback because I have my own opinions about it. But like I said earlier, I want to hear from you guys so that my opinions don't taint your ability to oh. How is my connection? Are people like, is my connection bad? Because right now it's not seeming like it's too bad to me. And can you like, what do you mean by like agreement within like you or within yourself, like what do you mean? I'm typing you guys the definite pro-Blackness so I can pin it on the top of this discussion. Know what I'm referring to when I speak about pro-Blackness. Growth. And yeah, how is the internet connection? Like, am I cutting out, or like, is it sticking, freezing? Is it bad, poor connection? Tell me, because I can move where I am. This definition, I think it's sufficient. And then if more people need like more clarity, I can like further explain what the rest of it is. But I think more people need like more clarity, I can like further explain what the rest of it is. But I think I don't want this to take up the entire comment section. So we'll see. This is terrible. I don't know how my own comment. Does it automatically get pinned? Questions. So yeah, what are you guys thinking? What are your thoughts and opinions on being pro-Black and being in an interracial relationship? Like what you're saying, Ashley, like, are you referring to an agreement clearly, this is not special. I don't know. I think that the definition of like unfortunately pro-blackness is very it's very narrow. And whether that's a good or bad thing, and unfortunately I think like if we're going based on that definition, I don't think that I could say that I'm necessarily pro-black or completely pro-black. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that title of pro-blackness comes with a certain level of commitment to the black community that unfortunately if you're not all the way there, then maybe you can't really pro-blackness. I don't know. Like that's what in my opinion, no. Like I would say that I'm fully pro-black. Maybe I would say that I'm for black community, but like based on the definition, you can't really. I personally couldn't say that I'm pro-black in its entirety based on what the definition is saying. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, let's look at it from this standpoint in terms of pro-black and then being pro-black and yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, if we just look at the one part of the definition that talks about pro-blackness as it uplifts black communities, black love, black relationships, black procreation. Looking at it from that standpoint, so pro-blackness as it pertains to black relationships, I feel like it might get a little sticky to say I'm pro-black, but that level would be based on what the definition of pro-blackness. Now, whether or not you want to take it from whether or not you want to take it from a dictionary or not, that's up to you. But I mean, it is a difficult discussion, but as it pertains to pro-blackness in terms of as it relates to the family, I think it would be difficult to say pro-black, which I think also lends itself to pro-black families, maybe perhaps, and it's saying that if it does, then can you really say I'm pro-black, but I don't know. Okay, sorry guys. So my YouTube channel is still live. If you guys want to join me on my live over there, feel free. But okay. Is okay. So I look at it this way. Like if you were to compare if you were to compare that to like somebody who is working on um bringing their life closer to Christ, obviously in your walk, you're not going to be perfect. But the end goal is that your life and who you are, the person that you are, becomes less of a reflection of you before Christ and more of a reflection of you after Christ, has been in your life and is starting to change you from the inside out. So the idea is not that you're staying the same, but that you're working towards becoming less like yourself and more like Christ. So I kind of use that analogy in this definition as like, okay, so let's say I don't know if this works, but okay. So let's say you're pro-Black. The idea is that initially, if you've said, okay, I'm going to be taking on this pro-Black lifestyle, I'm really going to be intentional about making sure that all of my coins are going into Black-owned businesses. I'm making sure that my children are familiar with Black spaces, that I'm really advocating for the Black family and all of these things. The idea is that you're moving steadily more towards being completely pro-Black, if you will, by way of this definition. So I think that, looking at the family aspect, I wouldn't expect for somebody who's saying they're pro-Black to marry somebody who is not Black. And then once they realize that this is the lifestyle that they're adopting, okay, I need to get a divorce now so that I can marry somebody who's Black so that I can carry on this lifestyle of being pro-Black. I think that you will make choices from the get-go or from the jump that will start to like shift you more towards being ultimately what this definition describes as pro-Black. So I don't necessarily think that there's a gray area per se. And I don't necessarily think that there's a percentage of, but I definitely do think that you're like, once you've made that proclamation over your life or the way that you're choosing to live your life, the idea is that you're moving toward in that direction, if that makes sense. Yeah, I would assume that that's kind of pretty much what the definition is saying. And I don't know if, okay, it kind of gets sticky because I think that when you look at it as a separatism kind of argument, it's difficult. Like, I don't necessarily think that being pro-Black means that you're anti or you're wanting to. I don't think that being pro-Black means anti anything else, if that makes sense. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with wanting a safe space that reflects who you are as a Black person, or a relationship that you feel like reflects who you are as a person. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that, I don't know, yeah, but then can you really be like concerned with what other people, like if you're deciding that this is the lifestyle that you're choosing to be pro-Black, you can't be concerned with what other people are, like how they feel about your lifestyle choices. Just the same way, like if you're deciding to commit your life to veganism, you can't be concerned with the people who are just like looking at you like, you're crazy for not wanting to come out with us and eat because there's not going to be anything on the menu for you. You just have to stick to it. Doesn't matter what other people think. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, as it pertains to just like pro-Blackness relating to relationships, I think it's hard to say that, like, my opinion is that it would be hard for me to take somebody serious who is saying that they're pro-Black. And there's a lot of people who, like, I've seen in media now, some people who I didn't even know were in interracial relationships. I'm thinking of like, what's his name? Oh, the guy that does that show on CNN. What's his name? The one, and his hair, like, he has Don King hair. I need to find his name now. It starts with a K, like, I don't remember. But anyhow, he's in an interracial relationship. No, not Donald Glover. That's not who I was thinking of, but he's another example. But I think that was also why, like, people were started attacking, like, why that conversation happened on Hot 97 was because of that relationship, and people didn't know that he was with somebody who was not Black. I think that, I mean, there's arguments for that whole situation on both sides. One, people were saying with Donald Glover that, like, Black girls wouldn't have been checking for him anyways because he was the weird, smelly Black guy that, like, you know, didn't really get much play from Black girls, which I feel like it's terrible to typecast Black girls who might actually be into somebody like a Donald Glover. Like, I think it's terrible to just say, oh, well, you know, most Black girls wouldn't like a nerdy guy. I love nerdy guys. So, I mean, there's that. But, like, I also think that a lot of times Black women don't often give opportunities for Black men who are typecasted as cornballs or corny or whatever the case is, or just weird or whatever. So there's also that. You feel like once can't be excluded from being pro-Black? What do you mean? Oh, so you're saying that because he's in an interracial relationship, he can't just be excluded from being pro-Black? I just feel like it's, me personally, I mean, that's cool. And if you want to continue to explain why, feel free. That's what the comment section is for. Me personally, I kind of look at it, I gave this example like in the comment section under that video on Hot 97, that I feel like it's a little problematic because I feel like to make that claim over your life that you're pro-Black, in a way, it slots you into this ideology of being pro-Black family. And for me, like, if somebody is telling me that they live their lifestyle a certain way, but then there's one major aspect of their life that isn't congruent with the rest of their life, it makes me kind of look at them sideways. Like, you're telling me that you're pro-Black, your target audience is Black women ages 15 to 35, but you're going home to somebody who does not fit in that category. And it kind of gets confusing. It's almost like, and I gave this example a little bit earlier, but like, if people who are working at, like, you know, drawing their life closer to Christ, who are saying, you know, I'm a Christian and I'm on this walk with God, et cetera, but yet you see them on Friday, Saturday night, you know, popping and locking and busting it wide open. Are you really going to take their walk with Christ serious? Like, if they're saying one thing out their mouth on Sunday morning, but then they're dropping it like it's hot on Saturday night. Like, I feel like it's a little problematic to say one thing and then not have your life reflect that same ideology. But, you know, Ashley did have a really good point. Like, I guess you would have to define what that ideology of pro-Blackness is. Does it mean that, like, you are 100% in, like, all of your resources, all of your time, all of your energy spent is going into growing the Black economy, Black people, Black communities, and all of that. And if it's not, then does that make you less pro-Black? I will say this though, like, I think when there's a major aspect of your life that is not reflective of that choice, then it sort of gets like questionable when people are making those claims. And to be very honest, I don't follow Donald Glover that closely. Maybe some of you can like, you know, give me some insight. But has he ever like made that claim over his life, or is it just like because he's Black, because he's made music videos and other socially conscious and aware things like, you know, Redbone and like This Is America, that, you know, people are slotting him into that category of pro-Blackness, or is that just a title that people are just giving to him? I guess you could. Again, I think that like if there are major aspects of your life, like in this case, relationship choices that you're making, major aspects of your life that are not reflective of a pro-Black lifestyle, then maybe you're not actually pro-Black. I'm not saying you, I'm just like saying as a general like statement. Like, okay, if you're pro-Black and like for the most part, your money, your time, your efforts are going into, you know, funding and supporting the Black community, but obviously your kids are not going to go to, or not obviously, but majority of the time, your kids are not going to go to a school that's like only Black people, or you're not going to be in a workspace that, you know, the person that you're working for is a Black person and everyone in the business is are Black people. Like, I don't necessarily feel like that excludes you, but or maybe it does. I don't know. I guess maybe it's person by person definition. For me, like I said, in terms of like, if you're looking at it exclusively from a relationship standpoint, to me, it's a little sticky to say I'm pro-Black, but then your partner is not reflecting that choice, that lifestyle choice that you're making. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, do you feel like I'm wrong? Do you feel like that's a little bit too much of an extreme definition? How do you guys feel? Oh, I've been on the side for a minute. And it's about to time me out. So what I can do is I can come back and talk about this a little bit later. You guys can gather your thoughts. And I'll come back a little bit later. If you haven't watched that Hot 97 call-in session, that radio session that happened after pictures were released of Donald Glover with his white girlfriend, and people were calling in to discuss whether or not they felt like that was, you know, congruent with this lifestyle, then go check that video out.